Hi, so in this video we're going to take a look at how we can compile the latest version of MPV Player on Debian. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So I've created this Git gist where I have put together some instructions on how to do this, and this is what I'm going to be going through in this video. So let's start by looking at MPV's repositories and where we can find the files that we need there and information that we need. So this is the main MPV repository, but in addition to this, they also provide this other repo called MPV build, and this contains, as they themselves describe, helper scripts to compile MPV on Linux. So this is exactly what we need. So let's see. Let's kind of, before we get into compiling, I also wanted to mention some things about MPV Player's release cycle. So if we go to this section here, we can read how they themselves think of kind of versioning of MPV Player. So they say that once or twice a year a release is cut off from the current development state and is assigned a 0.x.0 version number. No further maintenance is done unless there are security issues. So and then they say that the goal of releases is they make them for the sake of Linux distributions, and that Linux distributions are expected to apply their own patches to those releases. So basically, what we can gather from this description is that the approach that MPV Player developers take is that they strongly favor, it seems, the current development version over the kind of specific release versions. So this is also reflected in what they say here in this MPV build repo. We can find a section here where they talk about selecting release versus master versions. They say that by default the master versions are used, and then they say that these are bleeding edge but should usually work fine. To get a stable, slightly stale version, you can use release versions, and then they give some instructions here on how to switch. So you can choose a release version, but what I'm going to cover in this video is how to just compile the master, but this is going to be pretty easy to switch, it appears. I haven't tried it myself, but there shouldn't be any problem. So you just use the scripts that they mention here, MPV release, MPV master, and they are probably right here, in the root directory of the repository. Use MPV master or release. So we'll be working with this repo in this tutorial, so you'll see how this all works. I can also just mention that the latest release version that they have, like on the MPV player's repository, is 39.0. So, but on Debian, the current, or like on Debian stable, right now we have 35.1. So it's just like 4 versions behind. So this is just like to note how big of a discrepancy there is between the current MPV version and the version provided in Debian, and there is no backport available at this point either. So yeah. Okay, so let's get into the compiling part. So this is going to be a little bit involved, but it's okay. There's going to be quite a few packages, like in total we'll need to install about 70 packages, but most of those names are provided in the MPV build repo, I mean the package names. So we shouldn't have too much trouble there. So I will cd to this directory that I have here local src. This is where I clone all of the stuff, all of the source code that I download from the internet. And over there I also have an mpv subdirectory, and in there I already have an mpv build, but I'm gonna go ahead and delete that and just clone it again. So now we don't have anything here, and we're gonna go ahead and git clone the mpv build repo. We're done, and we'll cd to mpv build that we just cloned. So here we have it, a lot of different scripts, but we're only gonna focus here on what we need to just compile mpv and get that up and running. So in this gist, I kind of, since it's a quite involved process to figure out these dependencies packages, I kind of broke down things into two sort of like parts. If you want to just like have a single command to install everything at once, it is like you should look into in this section, but then there's also a breakdown of everything. So sort of like how I came up with this command. So I will kind of explain how this works here in this tutorial. But what I also want to mention is what this note also says is that like I can really only provide instructions for this point in time. But what I'm hoping to achieve here is to describe the principles by which you can obtain the necessary package names and install them, so that hopefully when in the future something changes, what I described in this tutorial will still be relevant. Because like even like a few months ago, I tried compiling mpv in a VM, and like then I just tried recompiling it after like maybe a month or two has passed. And so some of the dependencies have changed during that time. So that goes to show that like it's really not possible to kind of future-proof this tutorial, but I can do my best to describe how to get the package names with what they provide in the mpv build repo, with the information that they provide there, and hopefully these principles will still apply going forward, but you'll have to make adjustments. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So in this mpv build repo, they have this Debian folder here. So if we take a look inside, there's this file called control. If we take a look inside, there is this section build depends, and it lists a lot of different packages. So this is how I obtained basically all the package names, almost all of them, not all, like not all of them, but most of them. So let me show how that works. So basically I created this thing that I wrote like it's a short sed script. So it just parses Debian control, and then it kind of singles out this build depends section that I just showed, and it cleans it up basically. And then like it also excludes some of the package names that are actually named differently in Debian's repositories. We'll see how to like sort that out in a moment. So like if I just run this, I get a list of packages, just one per line. So this is what this part does, and this is what this part of the command does. It's the exact same thing, just broken up into several lines so that it's easier to read. So we can also run a check to see if all of this stuff that we parsed out of this Debian control file is actually available and apt, so that the package name, so that we know that we have correct package names. This is kind of I'm mentioning this again so that like in the future something will probably change, something will probably stop working, so this script will need to be modified, and this is how you can check if everything is still working. So basically the first thing that we can do is we can pass the output of this command to, or pipe it rather, to wc-l. That'll give us the number of lines that we've got here. So that's 73 packages, 73 lines. And then we can pipe this stuff to add list as well by using xargs. So xargs just takes everything from the standard input. All of this output that we have gets passed to xargs, and then it just applies, like adds all of those arguments to like basically after the word list here. And then I also hide the standard error output because I think there was some output that was like irrelevant for what we're doing, so that's why I silenced that. But if we just run this, oops, I messed something up. One extra pipe here. So if we run this, we get this list. So if something was missing, the apt list won't actually tell you that was missing. It just won't list it, I think. Or I don't know, maybe it will. Let me see. Apt list. Let's just put in some nonsense here. No, it just like doesn't tell you anything and exits with the like exit status 0, doesn't even throw an error. So we can still compare the number of lines basically, so that we see that like we piped into it like 70, what was it, like 73 packages, and we get 73. But there's like one extra step because it outputs this listing line in the beginning. So this will get rid of it. So we can see that like this first line says listing done. So this just removes that line so that we only have the lines that contain package names. And the color also goes away because I piped it to another command. So this is what we need. We just need the number of lines, and then we can pipe it to wc-l again. And we get 73. So this is how we can check that everything is there. So yeah. Now to the packages that we excluded here. Basically, for these I had to like figure out the names myself, and I think let me see. So yeah, like for the C compiler thing, it says GCC here, so that's actually the name that we need. So this is kind of technically here, but it's listed like as the second option. And actually, yeah. So and like libgnu, not sure how to pronounce this, but this other package. So this other package is also here, but it's listed as a second option, and it's kind of, it was hard to just like write a script to just like deliberately like single those out, because in most cases it's the first of the alternatives that we need. So I just separated them out and we'll install them, like pass those names manually. So those they actually have the correct names here, but you have to kind of go through them and find out which one you need. Maybe there's a better way to kind of parse this file somehow. I don't know, but this is how I did it. So it does contain the information that you need. You just need to like sort it out a little bit. So yeah, so we have these two extra packages, and we can also add them. So we have like 75 packages at this point. So this is what this first part of the command does. Then there's there's still two more. Like this is an optional package, but if you want JavaScript support in your MPV player, you need to install this libmu.js package. So we'll add that as well. That's why it's here. And at this point in time on Debian, you need to install a version of Maison from backports because MPV player, like to compile it, you need that version. The one that's unstable right now, it's a lower version number than the one that MPV player requires. So we need to install it from backports. So this is basically what we're gonna do right now. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this command and just paste it into the terminal. It's a bit of a mess, but it's like correctly formatted and everything, so that's all right. And I'll also just go ahead and add this Maison package to the end here, so that I don't have to run two separate commands and install everything at once. So I'll just press enter and enter my password. So let's see. Hopefully everything is looking okay. I'm just gonna look through this output to make sure I'm not installing any mess on my system. Yeah, I mean, I think it looks okay. So let's install all of this stuff. It will take a few minutes probably, or maybe not. I don't know. I tried it in the VM and it did take a while there, but on the main system it's probably gonna be a bit faster. Definitely compiling is gonna be faster, but maybe the installation as well. That was quick. Only 1 minute and 21 seconds, as it says here. So okay, so now we have all of the packages that we need. Now we can move on to the next step, which is compiling. So basically, you can use this rebuild script to compile it. There's also a script called build, and like they describe the difference somewhere in here, but I don't think we really need to go into like a ton of detail about this. They themselves recommend using rebuild. Let me see, rebuild. Yeah, so they say that to get ffmpeg, libass, and MPV sources, run rebuild. So that's what I just did. I didn't really go into a lot of detail about like what the differences between all of those scripts, but you can read about it here basically in the README in the MPV build repo. So let's just go ahead and compile. We can also pass this number of parallel processes here, so I'll pass something there like it just depends on how many processor cores I guess you have. I'm not really entirely sure what number you should put in there, but I'll pass let's just say 8, and yeah, so we'll just press enter and it will start cloning repos like ffmpeg and MPV and then libass and then compile everything. Okay, so it took only 3 minutes 14 seconds for me, but it will really depend on how fast your computer is. So we're now at 0.39.0. Like I guess this dash unknown, it will just that's because it's like a development version. So let's see. Over here I also have this note saying that the application can be found in this directory. So we'll need to look in MPV. What was it? Build. So here it is. Here is the binary, MPV binary, and here is the MPV man page. So let's test it out. I'll open a new window here and let me find some some videos to play just to test. Yeah, I have some sample videos here. These are just free videos from Wikimedia Commons. Let's see, so yeah, I don't have this on my path yet. I guess let me just add this to my path. So I already have a directory set up for that, where I can symlink things. So this is what I'm gonna do. So I'll just do ln s for symbolic link, v for verbose so that I see what it does, then r for relative path, mpv. This is the file that I want to symlink, or actually it's mpv build mpv, because I'm not on that, I haven't cd'd into that directory. So, and I'm gonna symlink it to home local ben. I already have that directory on my path, so it will see, it will just work right away for me. So I can check mpv version now, and we are at this version, so latest development version. And let's go ahead and open the video.
Själva grundidén till det här projektet, det var ju en insikt om att när elever arbetar med historia så får man ofta, och det gäller för övrigt inte bara elever utan...
Okay, so it's working. There's some new features that I haven't even seen before, some new menu here. And let's see. So the JavaScript works. This is a JavaScript script for MPV. So yeah, it's looking good. They have some like new look here as well with this kind of way of displaying the currently selected track. I don't know, maybe it's not that new, but for me it is, because I have been using just like the plain Debian or like Debian stable version, and it's quite a bit older. So yeah, also this terminal output is a bit different, and it looks like I'll need to adjust something in configuration files, but that's expected because I've just upgraded to a much newer version. So yeah, let's see, is there like anything else to say about this? Let me see. So there's also a man page here. Let me just change directories to that mpv build so I don't so that it's easier to work with. So basically this mpv.1 is the man page, so you can just view it like this by just opening the file. But I also have another directory set up to like for man pages. For that you need to set the man path variable. It looks written like this, so it kind of works like path, but it's just for manuals. So let me see. So man mpv, like right now, it just uses the Debian. Is there like any way to distinguish these two man pages from each other, or are they just like, I don't know, like they look identical. The version isn't mentioned there anywhere, not that I can see at least. So, but the thing is that I can just like also symlink this mpv.1 file in the same way that I symlink the binary to a directory that is on my path. I can symlink the man page to a directory that is on my man path. and I have one like that, so it's local ben, or not ben, but share man 1 yeah, that's it, local share man 1. And so now if I do like man w mpv, it will print the path, and I can see that it finds the right man page. So now when I open man mpv, I will be using this version that we just compiled. Its man page, not the Debian ones, the Debian's apt version of mpv. So this is pretty much it for compiling. Like one other thing that I'm gonna just like mention here is this installing. So you can also install it into your like system directories to user local. I personally don't like doing this. Like I just always prefer to create kind of symbolic links like I just showed here to my custom directories, and I don't want to like manage files in some system directories, like there's a whole bunch of them. So basically what you can do is you can run this .install script. You will need a sudo root privileges to run it, but it's here in the root directory of the mpv build repository. There's this install script, so you can just run sudo install, or you can just run .install. It will ask you for the password itself, and then it will do this. Basically I just copied the output from it so that you can see, so there's some reference as to what files it places and where they go. So but I mean, I'm personally not going to do this because I find it easier to manage it in this way, so that I can just recompile and everything will be hooked up right away after the compiling finishes. But if I didn't do that, if I use this method, then I'd have to like run an extra command to install these new files to some directories that I can't really keep track of, like what installs where. And it's just like not my current preference. So yeah, this is pretty much it for this video. I'm going to link this this git gist in the description to this video, as well as the links to the repos. I'll also include them, and I will also link this playlist on MPV that includes all the videos that I made on my channel about MPV player. So you can check them out and see if there's anything that you're interested in. So yeah, this is it. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to support this channel, you can do that at ko-fi.com/linguisticmind. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.